Belia starts the game in preference to Gary Brooke, who's the substitute. And the only other place in doubt was in goal, where Milja Alexic got the vote over a fit again Barry Daines by virtue of being the man in possession. It's only Alexic's 7th first-team game of the season and his first in the Cup since he suffered severe injuries in the third-round replay last year at Manchester United. 8 of this Wolves side froze, to use John Farnwell's description, as losing semi-finalists to Arsenal 2 years ago. But their Cup experience is much greater since then, and with the introduction of Hughes, 6 of the starting lineup are in their 30s. And no big cup tie occasion would seem complete these days without Clive Thomas in the middle, just 10 days after officiating in the League Cup final replay. So it's Wolves who kick off, ironically on a day when these two sides were scheduled to meet in a league game at Molineux. Tottenham today in an all-white strip and defending the goal to our left. The conditions nigh on perfect, just a smattering of a breeze. The ground soft underfoot from some rain overnight and this morning, which tailed off at around 11 o'clock. McCall in front of Archibald, so that both goalkeepers have had an important feel in the first 40 seconds. Andy Gray promises to be something of a contrast in styles between the two sides. Wolves very much regarded as a long ball team to hit the likes of John Richards here and Andy Gray. Tottenham will look for a little more variety in their play, and they're particularly pleased about the rain that will help their touch. Here's Hoddle. Steve Perryman will wear number 5, but he's operating at right back, and Tottenham get the free kick, which Willie Carr does not allow them to take, and with a minute and a half gone, Carr is booked. Given away by Perryman, and here's Carr in the action again, touched off by Gray. Forward from Jeff Palmer, and that's very much in the Wolves style. Gray trying to bring it down. They've taken a slight deflection off Perryman, but the intentions of Wolves clear. Parkin. Again, it's switched forward early by Wolves. Brooks beaten on the bounce by Palmer. Here's Galvin, showing pace to get into a good angle, and Archibald! 4 minutes gone. And Steve Archibald, it's his 25th of the season, but none have been more important, surely. And Tony Galvin making his first inroads into the game, really, but his pace got him to the byline. The pass took out McCall, Archibald stretches out, it's 1-0 to Tottenham. Cut back beautifully by Galvin, and Archibald perfectly placed. So those who've come up the M1 from London start the game in fine voice. Here's Houghton. Archibald looking to get in behind McCall here. Bradshaw's in trouble and just snatched it back as Crooks was following in. Paul Bradshaw grateful to get the second chance after dropping it under pressure from Archibald. But Archibald with Belia linking up with him. And the back heel was aimed for Crooks. And this time Carr halts Galvin. Houghton. McCall driving it for Richards. Linking up again with Gray. Carr quickly in support. Foul by Hoddle. Here's Clark. Looking for Gray, jumping against Houghton. Down for Hibbett. Wolves are level. And the scorer congratulates the man who set it up for him. The thumbs up from Gray. And Hibbett, whose range of play includes such great accuracy in shooting from around the edge of the area, was well placed. Clark set it up originally. Gray guiding it down here, and Hibbett threading it left-footed right into the corner. Thomas having a word with the reserve official about supporters who've got onto the pitch behind the goal that Tottenham are defending. That's the problem that Mr. Thomas is concerned about. Gray. Carr has men spare to his right, one of whom is Palmer. By Berry to Crooks. Ahead of him, Villiers had to check to stay onside. Galvin. Hoddle. Now Archibald. Feinting to try the shot himself, then using Ardiles. Finally the shot coming in from Villiers. And there was no one following in from Tottenham. Really hit well by Ricky Villiers. After Spurs had shown some patience in their build-up, and finally Villiers accepting the responsibility. Bradshaw couldn't hold it, but it fell kindly for Wolves. Ardiles trying to pick out Galvin. Tottenham, of course, playing their first tie outside London in this year's competition. Their only away game was against Queen's Park Rangers, whereas Wolves have had far more demanding tasks on paper all the way through. But here's Hoddle. This time gets some reward for the appeal for the corner. Just brushing the fingertips of Bradshaw. With everyone but Wayne Clark back. And the header was from Hibbett. And here's Richards. A dangerous place to lose possession. Perriman. Hoddle playing it in early, nicely down for Crooks. Well, it's a link-up that really has clicked for Tottenham this season. And it nearly restored their lead then. The chest touch from Crooks, the left foot shot from Archibald. Hibbett planting it forward. Then Hughes. Gray given time to pull it down and pick out Clark. Gray's gone on to the far post, but this is Richards. Clark coming again. And almost a mirror image of the incident at the other end a moment or two ago, with Wayne Clark playing the role of Steve Archibald on that occasion. And the referee wants a word now with Kenny Hibbett, or a word out of turn, presumably. So Tottenham get a free kick, which might have surprised them, and which they might capitalise on here. And how did Crooks make out a foot then? But he did, nearly to devastating effect. All credit to Paul Bradshaw. Touched back by Archibald. It seemed to be McCall's ball, but Crooks got there and it needed the save. Now Ardiles and Willie Carr back for Wolves. Miller keeping the pressure on. Might fall here for Houghton. Perryman. Still with Tottenham. Now Ardiles. Back from Hoddle. Ardiles goes down. The Tottenham players applaud. Now the question is, as the free kick is given, is it on the edge? Which it seems to be, rather than a penalty. Ardiles going down there, brought down by Berry. And it's Hoddle who strikes it so perfectly. In front, and they waited until the moment was right, and Glenn Hoddle chips it in past Paul Bradshaw, who was completely wrong-footed. So penalty or not, it's irrelevant now. His 13th goal of the season, and 7 minutes remain in the first half. Ardiles had a second thought and almost gave Gray an opening. Tottenham at the moment playing their way into trouble, and in the end Wolves get a free kick as Houghton sent Palmer flying, but it all really stemmed from overindulgence by Ossie Ardiles in the last third of the field from his point of view. Hibbett with the free kick. Berry making a run. Richards, and then Clark couldn't make significant contact. Really spearing in, and Tottenham again not dealing with it decisively. Forward again from Carr. Miller's header. It was almost a case of misunderstanding between goalkeeper and defender, but it ended happily for Miljan Aleksic, whom victory today will be a premature celebration for his 30th birthday on Tuesday. Forward from Carr. Hughes has made the run this time, on for Richards. And handball by Houghton. Wayne Clark turns away furiously. Houghton is booked for deliberate handball, but he may well have saved his side. But the incident right on the spot that led to Spurs' second goal. Clark nicking it forward, out-snaked the right arm. Hughes on the left-hand end of the wall as we look. Always a trying time for referees. Getting the defenders back the required distance. So here goes Hibbett, and there's no action replay. He couldn't keep it down. And it's Wayne Clark who's going to be called off for Norman Bell, it seems. The number 4 board being held there by the auxiliary official today. Here's Richards. Giles scurrying and hurrying back, but that will allow Wolves to bring on Bell, who scored 4 goals in the FA Cup this season. And how badly Wolves need another one from him now. Kenny Hibbett consoling Clark as he is the player pulled off. So Bell will certainly add to the aerial power for Wolves up front. But Carr's right in there, and Gray! And Andy Gray hurt in the episode. The early ball from Hibbett giving Gray really something to fight for. His characteristic style, but it was a foot too high. Hibbett. Foul by Galvin. So Bell has joined Gray beyond the far post. And Berry is there as well. Palmer sets his bearings, and Brooks is in trouble for not retreating the full 10 yards. So another booking. And Brooks has now retreated to pick up Hibbett, leaving Palmer uninterrupted view. And it's Bell jumping, and it fell straight to Ardiles. Gray, Miller's strength is unfair. Clive Thomas just looking for a moment to see whether Wolves had any advantage, and blew for the free kick. So again Tottenham put 5 in the wall and pull everyone back behind the ball. Palmer has gone across to join Hughes and Willie Carr. And it's Carr who chips it, Berry who heads it. And it's squirted away from Emlyn Hughes when the chance presented itself. And Wolves are thwarted yet again. It was a neatly worked free kick. Hughes making the run, and watch him continue. And as Carr chipped it forward, Berry headed it down. Hughes couldn't control it, and in doing that, tried to set it up for Richards, and it went behind him. Bell. Here's Hibbett. Could be Wolves' last throw here. And Clive Thomas has given a penalty. 90 minutes played on the watch. Hibbett gave chase. Hoddle and Perriman going with him. There was the contact. And it seems to me that Tottenham harshly done by. Archibald booked for arguing. Well, it had looked all up for Wolves, and now they had the chance to take us into extra time. And their penalty record this year is pretty poor. Richards, Wayne Clark and Peter Daniel, who's not playing, have all missed from the spot. And Milja Alexic now to try and protect a place in the final for Tottenham. Willie Carr to try and save the day for Wolves and take us to the extra 30 minutes, which he does. Showing the nerve of his experience and sending those supporters into a delight that they couldn't have imagined feeling when it looked as though their world was caving in. And indeed, hardly time to restart. Archibald could be in more trouble here. This FA Cup semi-final, and Ardiles is in trouble too for another word out of place. And Clive Thomas has produced his famous black book. And again he ends a cup tie as a central figure. Tottenham and Keith Birkinshaw, almost in the manner of John Lyall in the League Cup final. Words with the referee. Roberts flicking it up in the air and then having to jump for it himself. Galvin, who's looked impressive on the ball on the relatively rare occasions Tottenham have got him into the game. Ardiles. Hoddle, and trying to catch Bradshaw as he was moving out of his line. Well, Glenn Hoddle must have thought the honour had fallen to him of the winning goal in the semi-final. Hit and hope from McCall. And again a tired look about a pass. This time it was Hoddle, but it really has applied to several players in this first period of extra time. Hibbett. Now Hughes. Still life in his legs. Hibbett again. Came over Richards, and Carr is on the end of it as Perryman rather hooked it out blindly into the sort of area that Andy Gray would have been trying to play the ball, but the whistle when it goes is for the end of the first period of extra time, and the score remains level. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. So we're into the final 15 minutes. Richards, and one wonders now whether the players will be just a little tentative about making a mistake, whether perhaps it might be a case of what we have we hold. The Tottenham fans showing their disapproval of a foul right in front of them by John McCall on Garth Crooks. And McCall blatantly late. Meanwhile, Gary Brooke, after several false alarms, is waiting to be called on. And it is Ricky Villa, who has done well really to last for 90 minutes, let alone 105 minutes after his long layoff. Villa comes off, and the 20-year-old Gary Brooke gets a warming cheer. Now Galvin. And he slipped Palmer again. And gets good depth into the cross. Brook jumping. Hoddle hitting it. And it may even have taken a deflection. And it was a brilliant save from Bradshaw. Set up by Galvin, who not for the first time this afternoon slipped Jeff Palmer. Brook was in there jumping, and it finally came down for Hoddle. And brilliant reflexes from Bradshaw. Bray runs, but runs in vain, and Clive Thomas will, I suppose, be remembered as the central figure of this FA Cup semi-final. The penalty award in the last minute of normal time, giving Wolves a lifeline, allowing Willie Carr to keep his side's hopes alive, and even extra time can't drive a wedge between them. So it's a replay at Highbury on Wednesday night, and a final score: Tottenham Hotspur 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2.